Testing. 1, 2, testing.
Good evening, GLC basketball fans, and for the first time ever on these airwaves and in this gym, it is the GLC Tournament coming to you live from Lakewood High School. This is the Lakewood Sports Channel presented by First Federal of Lakewood. Grant Graves, Mike Harper with you, bringing you first round action. And Mike, this is such an exciting opportunity for these student athletes. A conference tournament, something usually reserved for the college ranks. This is going to be a great atmosphere, and there's nothing like tournament play. We're going to get this and the OHSAA playoffs. What else could you ask for?
Not much, man. I tell you, this is a fantastic idea. I think in the time of COVID here where, you know, Lakewood's lost so many games. I mean, I think we played 11 games. So just to get this extra, you know, play and for it to be tournament play as well before you go into the big dance, I think is awesome.
Certainly it will be an awesome opportunity for the Rangers and the Redmen coming in, having played one game already this year. Lakewood coming out ahead 61-51. It was the Rangers' first victory of the year. Parma with 2 wins, Lakewood with 2 wins. And as we saw in that game, it was closer than a 10-point advantage. There's certainly a lot of skill on both sides here, and both teams certainly hoping that their play will carry them to the next round.
Oh, absolutely, Grant. It's kind of funny because they've only played a week ago, so it'll be telling how much each team has learned and what we get to see right off the bat.
Well, if you are just joining us and have just found out about the GLC tournament, let's get you a little bit of an overview of what will be kicking off over the next few weeks here. It'll certainly be an exciting time to be a fan of GLC basketball. This first round matchup will be the 8 seed Lakewood versus the 9 seed Parma. Also tipping off tonight on the GLC TV network is number 4 Bay Village against number 5 Buckeye. Number 7 Holy Name versus number 10 Fairview was postponed. There will be no game. Fairview forfeiting that one due to a lack of player availability. So Holy Name will advance to play Rocky River on Saturday. And in the bottom of the bracket, it's number 3 Normandy versus number 4 Valley Forge. And Mike, like we talked about, this is a really exciting opportunity for this team, and the opportunity is there for both squads. If they can pass for this first round, they have a date with number 1 seed Elyria Catholic. What a reward for winning your first round game. But you can tell both sides are eager to get their feet wet in tournament play. It should be a good one.
Absolutely.
What are your impressions of this bracket here? We've seen most all of these teams so far this year. Fairview the only one, I believe, that Lakewood has not played. Lakewood has played Bay close. They beat a Buckeye squad from down there in Medina, defeated them on senior day here on Saturday. Holy Name, they played close. A game against Normandy, which you wish you can play them again and see how you test up. And Lakewood certainly peaking at the right time with 2 wins in a row.
Oh, absolutely. I think it'll be interesting to see. I think the top 3 seeds kind of have distinguished themselves as being probably the best teams in the conference. But,
sure.
Hey, this is why we play the games, right? If we can get past this one, I like to see that rematch there with Elyria Catholic.
Certainly a competitive game all the way to the final buzzer there, and Elyria Catholic, owner of a 30-game win streak previously in this season alone, and it was really a great effort by the Rangers. Should they advance tonight, that would make for another really good matchup there out at the Coliseum in Elyria.
It's a great place to play. Great venue.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if one game is not enough for your TV screen, if you're looking to get as much basketball crammed into your viewing experience tonight, don't worry, we got you covered. My guys over there at Fairview, Tyler Danberg, Connor Canfield, pulling together the GLC Full Court Press. If you're a fan of NFL Red Zone and you have 4 games going on at once, that's what we got on the GLC Full Court Press. 4 games, 1 screen. We're calling it hashtag February Frenzy. Move over, March Madness. February is tournament time here in Northeast Ohio. What a fantastic opportunity, and a great job pulling this all together on the GLC TV network by Tyler Danberg, Connor Canfield, all those guys over there at the FBCS BN. And just to get your experience here, I mean, you've had tournament experience, but just to have all these games televised and kind of has that March Madness feel to it, I mean, you can't can't ask anything more for our student athletes.
I tell you what, this is one of the slickest things I've seen, and I'm so excited about it, especially for girls basketball. And my hope is this whole streaming experience, even once we get past the age of COVID, that we'll continue to do things like this for, out-of-town relatives and people who don't get to normally come.
Sure.
So this is awesome.
Well, it's been a fun experience sitting next to you for these past few games. I don't see why we can't keep the party going here on the Lakewood Sports Channel. And with that, always a good place for a good time is $2, and that leads us to our $2. 2 keys to the game. And Coach Harper, you have Lakewood and Parma getting set to tip this one off here. What are you looking for here in our $2 keys to the game as Parma and Lakewood get set to tip off?
Well, Grant, I tell you, on the Parma side of things, hey, Lakewood's pressure. Last game that they played, Lakewood, it was the very first time we saw Lakewood pull out an all-game-long full-court press. And I tell you, it worked like a charm to the tune of 17 turnovers. And so I'm looking for Parma to see if they've learned anything in a week and can adjust to that pressure. On the other side of the ball, what is Lakewood going to do about DeJesus? I tell you, DeJesus is she's a tough competitor, man. I saw earlier in the season against Fairview, she scored 27 points. Earlier also in the month, she just became the all-time three-point record holder for Parma, and she can score in bunches. 23 points last time against Lakewood. So what is Lakewood going to do to slow her down in this game?
And it will certainly be a tall task for the Rangers to make sure that Parma advances no further here in the GLC tournament. That was Mike Harper's 2 keys to the game presented by $2. Visit them here on Madison Avenue in Lakewood for great deals at $2 Lakewood. And as we move close to the game time, you mentioned it, Coach Harper, it will be a scoring fest if Lakewood does not do a good job locating Amaris DeJesus. She was fantastic in their matchup with Lakewood. 3 3-pointers for her in that matchup. And she had a fantastic game against Fairview a few weeks ago when they led themselves to a 41-36 win. But on the other side, you're talking about hot shooting. We got our own version, i.e. Molly Hendrickson, a fantastic career game against Buckeye High School. She was 6 of 12 from the field, 4 of 9 from deep, and she also poured in a total of 18 big points for that win on senior day. And really, if you're a fan of perimeter shooting, people that can really fill it up from the perimeter, this is going to be a good one.
I think so.
Thank you to Slife for sponsoring our key matchup of the game tonight. And as the Rangers keep moving in the right direction here, 2 wins in a row, as we have mentioned, to close out regular season play. My question to you, Mike Harper, as our Geiger's question of the game flashes on screen here, what has been the key to Lakewood's 2-game winning streak heading into GLC tournament play? What's flipped for the Rangers here as they've been able to secure wins over Parma and Buckeye in consecutive order?
Well, Grant, it was kind of funny. Maybe about 5 years ago, the 76ers had this thing with this young team they drafted. They called it trust the process, right? And so I think what you're seeing is you're seeing the process come around, the maturation of players. Now, we're talking about 5 sophomores and a freshman who have been playing key minutes for Lakewood. And I think, it's foolish to think that doesn't take some time to come along and mature, but we're seeing it now.
Sure.
And I tell you what, they've also done a good job with the full court press. I've been a big fan of that.
A sense of a new identity defensively. We didn't see much press, only here and there for them, but really you can count on it now for Coach Julie Work's coaching staff. Her, Coach Coker, Coach Hoffer, Coach Cunningham have certainly found something with this group and found a combination they can really get out there and trust in that press.
Absolutely.
Well, it is almost basketball time here at Lakewood High School as we go down now to the PA announcer for the national anthem and our starting lineups.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Lakewood Rangers Gymnasium for tonight's matchup for the Great Lakes Conference Tournament. The number 9 seed Parma, Lady Redmen, and your number 8 seed Lakewood Rangers. Now, please stand and rise for the playing and singing of the national anthem. The referees assigned tonight for the OHSAA have been picked for official approval of the Great Lakes Conference Tournament. That is Dave Russo, Scott Sherrill,
Just gonna let him go for a little bit.
and Gary Franks. First, the starters for the visiting Lady Redmen, coached by Chuck Caldwell, assistant varsity coach Joe Markowski. Starting at guard, number 4, Julia Basinger. Number 5, the other guard, Nevaeh Sawyer. Number 28 guard, Amaris DeJesus. Number 23 at forward, Alyssa Levy. And your center, number 32, Leah Holmes. Now, everybody on your seats and up on your feet. And greet your Lady Lakewood Rangers. First, junior guard, number 2, Molly Henriksen. As sophomore guard, number 3, Samantha Hudak. As sophomore guard, number 4, Sydney Hampton. A senior point, number 12, Lily Germain. And your other senior guard, number 24, Gianna McCollum.
Well, it is basketball time here from the corner of Bunsen Franklin, and it's tournament time. February Frenzy in full swing. First round of the GLC Tournament here on the Lakewood Sports Channel. It's Parma and Lakewood, and if you haven't decided what you're going to have for dinner as you watch the Redmen and the Rangers square off here, make sure you head into Angelo's tonight. Hockey team is having their fundraiser there. You can do delivery, you can do carry out. Only go at halftime if you're doing carry out, folks. And make sure to mention the hockey team if you're heading in there tonight. 11 p.m. the fundraiser will go to. For the Redmen, it'll be Basinger, Sawyer, DeJesus, Lavy, and Leah Holmes out there for the Redmen. And the tip is good, and it'll be controlled by Holmes right away down the paint there. Holmes couldn't get it to go. Nice rebound underneath by Lavy.
Yeah, you know, Lavy's tough. I tell you, we talk about the 23 points in the last game that DeJesus had, but Lavy chipped in 13 points for the second leading scorer in that game.
Certainly a
for the Redmen.
Formidable front line for the Redmen. It's up and no good there for Alyssa Lavy. And number 32, Leah Holmes, make a formidable forward combo in the post for Parma. Second free throw is up and good, and the scoring will be opened with a free throw from number 23, Alyssa Lavy. Gia McCullough steps through. That layup rims just in and out, and Parma will control it going the other way. It'll be number 5, Sawyer, controlling it for Parma.
That was a nice play by Hampton there, getting the ball up the court quick.
Parma working it around. Three-pointer there. That shot no good, and McCullough will come up with it. The senior will control it and throw it ahead to Henriksen. Tipped by Parma. Henriksen tried to save it, but her attempt will go out of bounds, and Parma will regain possession.
Lakewood is looking aggressive, right? Head up and getting the ball up the floor. I like it.
Certainly up-tempo style Lakewood has adopted over this 2-game winning streak. Really like to press, get out, and see what they can do in transition as Hudak will match up against Sawyer at the top of the key. Sam Hudak, Molly Henriksen, Gianna McCullough, Lily Germain, and Sydney Hampton, the tried and true starting 5 for the Rangers as a three-pointer is knocked in by Julia Basinger. and the Redmen increased their lead to 4.
Yeah, Coach Coker told me from Lakewood, got to watch out for number 4 Basinger. She can play a little bit. He likes her.
Certainly a good job scouting this team as a block for Holmes on the perimeter, but a timely rebound by Lily Germain as the Rangers now pull within 2 against Parma. Turnover there going the other way.
Here we go, Grant. I'm telling you, we knew that pressure was going to come out as soon as they scored. And now what will Parma do to answer it, right?
Parma certainly seeing what Lakewood has done over the past few games and is going to make sure they are taking care of the ball. Three-pointer is up and good from DeJesus. And Parma offense is really getting out to a hot start against the purple and gold.
Where she is at all times.
DeJesus, the leading three-point scorer in Parma girls basketball history, has a nice cut there from McCullough, but the pass there, you can definitely see why she ranks at the top for this Parma girls program. Man-to-man press here for the Rangers. Ball will be inbounded to DeJesus. She is hounded by Hudek.
So here we go, Nevaeh Sawyer from the Parma team. She's a freshman out here trying to learn, and, this pressure is going to be a pressure cooker for her, right?
Certainly Lakewood hoping it'll be a long learning experience for the freshman, but a nice job handling it by Parma here. A nice layup there by DeJesus. No good, and Lakewood will push it the other way, trailing by 5, and Hudek steps on the boundary and will turn the ball back to Parma.
See, that's where we talk about learning how to transition speeds. It's hard. Young players want to try to beat them up the court all the time. Sometimes it's about shifting speeds, pulling back a little bit, and creating space that way.
Certainly want to stay in control if you're the Rangers and get some quality looks on offense, trailing by 5 here early. Nice steal by the senior McCullough, and she will pull this one back and get Lakewood into their offense.
Great play by McCullough. She played over top of that flex screen that was coming at her.
That's senior instincts right there as the coast-to-coast layup will good. Gianna McCullough doing it on both ends for the Rangers. Pressure being applied by Lakewood. This one gets back into the hands of Levy as that ball will be hit out of bounds, and Lakewood will reset defensively. And last time these two teams played, Lakewood coming out on top 61-51, and Sam Hudak had a fantastic game, 12 points in that one. We'll certainly see if she can rewrite the script and do it again as McCullough comes up with another steal, gets it ahead to Henriksen. Henriksen's layup sat on the front of the rim, thought about it, and dropped in the right direction for the Rangers.
Proud of IE. Great use of the left hand there.
Nice job by McCullough. She is certainly having a fantastic game early. Hampton with a fantastic steal. The step through by Hudak, no good. Nice step through again there. And Sam Hudak's second layup, also no good. But there's Hampton once again. Lakewood misses a shot. No worries. Get a steal on the other end. Henriksen's three-pointer, no good. But there is Germain underneath. And her layup is finally good for the Rangers. And if you are Coach Chuck Caldwell, definitely a worthy timeout there as your team needs to hit the defensive glass to limit the second chances Lakewood is getting.
I tell you what, that's 2 buckets by Germain. It's great. For last game against Buckeye, she came out and got in early foul trouble, 2 quick fouls. But now she's showing that senior leadership, and that's what you need. She's got to get on the boards. She's got 2 good putbacks right there. Very good to see.
One senior doing it on the glass, another senior doing it on the defensive end. Gianna McCullough with 2 steals, and the youth movement as well. Sydney Hampton certainly getting in there and mixing it up. The guard for the Rangers doing a nice job. 2 consecutive steals on the press there. And that's sort of the thing that, Coach Work and the coaching staff have, to use a bad pun, have worked up for this Rangers defense, because allowing this team to play a little bit faster, play a little more aggressive style of defense has certainly paid dividends defensively and offensively, because it's led to some really easy buckets for the Rangers.
Exactly. Hey, we've got Jackie Hudak out here now, who led the Rangers last time with 17 points. So it'd be interesting to see the pressure that she brings in this second rotation here.
Abby Basinger checking in for Parma. Jackie Hudak checking in for Lakewood. If you're Coach Chuck Caldwell seeing Jackie Hudak check in, you are definitely been doing your scouting to limit the scoring that Jackie will be able to do against Parma tonight. A tough rebound by Jermaine, and Lakewood will push it, looking to extend their 1-point lead. Henriksen from deep. That one no good. Rebound underneath by Holmes. Went up and high-pointed the ball. That is Leah Holmes, the leading shot blocker in the area. 11.5 rebounds per game. Fantastic length right there to pull that one down. Three-pointer there from Amaris. No good. And a foul underneath will give Parma the baseline out of bounds here. 3 minutes, 12 seconds remaining in the first quarter. And it's Lakewood 8, Parma 7.
Good rebound there by Holmes.
Certainly a talented player. Lakewood doing a nice job so far, limiting her ability to influence shots at the rim. 6 blocks per game that Leah Holmes is averaging. Fantastic season she is having. Has a fantastic take there by number 2, Abby Basinger, right in the game, and she gives Parma a 9-8 lead.
Nice little lift off the bench there. Great move, baseline move.
Jackie Hudak got inside, and that shot was influenced again by Holmes as Lakewood will keep possession underneath, and Ava Carroll will check in for Lily Germain. Really good shift by Germain, pulling down some tough rebounds, being a good presence inside for the Rangers.
Yeah, Holmes is going to clog up the paint a little bit. I think, 6 blocks per game or something like that. She's going to be a tough customer in there in the paint.
5-second call goes against the Rangers in a mental lapse. If you are the purple and gold there, just got to find an outlet there and try to get that one in, as Garcia will check in for Henriksen. And you know, we talked about it a little bit on the when we were discussing before the game, but you have Meyer last game for Buckeye. You get Holmes this game for Parma, and Lakewood certainly knows the importance of shooting from the perimeter, because those two can really influence what happens in the paint as this game continues. Nice job there by Garcia, fresh into the game on defense, and Lakewood will regain possession.
Yeah, Delaney Garcia has made such an impact the last 2 games when she's come in the game on defense. There you go, right off the bat, a key block and a controlled block. The block got the ball and got it out.
And
Fantastic.
got the ball back as Holmes was able to block that one off McCullough. Such a forceful presence down low is Leah Holmes, and Parma's certainly happy to have her in the middle of the defense as tournament play kicks off here. It's the February Frenzy on GLC TV as Lakewood and Parma dueling here in the first round matchup. That three-pointer no good, and there's Garcia one more time. Great instincts for a freshman. We talked a little bit about it against Buckeye. Garcia was a plus 13 against Buckeye. She had 3 deflections, 4 rebounds, really influencing the stat sheet in ways that sometimes go unseen but are very important for this Lakewood team, as Carroll gets on the board and gets Lakewood back in the lead. Really just been impressed with how composed she's been defensively. She does it without fouling, but she seems to be definitely influencing passing lanes and influencing reversals for the other team, not making any offensive set or motion that the other team's trying to run easy and enjoyable.
Yeah, I mean, listen, a fantastic talent. I mean, there's great body control as a freshman, and you got to remember something, too. She tore ACL last year, 8th grade, and lost her whole 8th grade season, so very nice to see what she's been able to do coming back.
Nice floater there for Parma, and this one is back and forth here. First round tournament play. What else would you expect here at the GLC tournament? Hampton pops and fires, and that one will hit the boundary and go out. 11-10, Parma leading Lakewood. Very evenly matched game so far. Very good defensive efforts by both sides. It's been Holmes down low with the block shots. It's been Lakewood in the press with the steals, as
it is an 8.
Lavy breaks out the other way.
Layup
no good.
It's an 8-9 seed game. You know?
Absolutely. Certainly 2 teams looking to advance to number 1 Elyria Catholic. Pilgrim will put it up. Molly Pilgrim seeing her first action tonight. And another fast break will break out for Parma. DeJesus stops and fires. That one is good. Amaris DeJesus, all-time leader, and going up the leaderboard even faster. A fantastic shot by DeJesus there.
If you can do that, Grant, in transition, that's a tough cover. You know, we're we teach kids to run back to the paint, turn
Absolutely.
and find your man, but it's kind of like Steph Curry in the NBA. You got to check at the half-court line, where is that person?
You
can't lose her.
Have to locate to Jesus as Lakewood takes it inside. It's Carroll getting tied up with Holmes underneath. And with 42.4 seconds remaining in the first quarter, Lakewood will have it out of bounds as number 23, Alyssa Levy, will check back in, and Holmes will sit down as Hampton will inbound the ball underneath. 14-10, Parma leads. Garcia comes open underneath. Her layup is good.
Good, strong move by the freshman.
Delaney Garcia fighting through contact and getting herself in the scorer's book with that layup there. 30 seconds remaining here. Basinger against Hudak. Juliana Kern in there for Parma and turns it over to Pilgrim. Pilgrim lost the dribble. Was able to get it off to Hampton, but Hampton was able to get it back for the Rangers. Bounce pass underneath Garcia is good, and after that, commotion here near the timeline. 5 seconds remaining. DeJesus will have to launch. Instead, passes it up. And with 0.5 seconds, this end of the first quarter is a wild one. They're certainly taking February frenzy to a whole nother level.
We got our money's worth.
We got our money's worth certainly on that chaotic possession, which to Lakewood's surprise ended up in their hands and was able to get a layup to Delaney Garcia after that scrum and tie this one up at 14 apiece at the end of the first quarter. And as the first quarter ends, we want to give a big shout out to First Federal of Lakewood. First Federal of Lakewood is rooted in the communities they serve and has supported the personal and business banking needs of its customers since 1935. Visit ffl.net to learn more, and we want to give a big shout out to the Lakewood girls basketball youth and middle school programs. If you are tuning in tonight, give us a shout out on YouTube, on Twitter. So good to see the youth program and the next generation of Lakewood girl basketball superstars tuning in and doing their thing out there on the weekends for the Lakewood girls basketball program. And sitting next to a man that has had a great influence on that youth program, Coach Work doing a fantastic job working with the lower levels as well. We're going to be shouting out the program from 3rd and 4th grade all the way up to the 8th grade at halftime. We're going to give everybody a big shout out, so make sure you're still tuned in when the first half ends here. And just how nice has it been to see the youth program produce some of these players you're seeing on the court right now. It's such a wonderful sight when you see these players in 3rd grade, 4th grade coming up and doing fantastic things.
Absolutely, Grant. I mean, it's your pipeline, right? Any coach will tell you, this stuff doesn't start at the varsity level. You get the kids in the gym when they're real little, and you hope that you spur something that they take a liking to it. And it's really good to see the girls that kind of come all the way up to the varsity level.
Certainly can't wait for it to continue as that youth program doing such a nice job getting student athletes into the game, enjoying the game, and having fun. Definitely number one. Ball was tipped out of bounds after a nice block on the other end by Julia Basinger, and this is a tight one, 14-14. Neither team able to break out the either way. Hasn't been a game of runs, even though basketball is certainly a game of runs. Both teams keeping it generally pretty close here as the pass to Holmes is out of bounds. Nice D there by Delaney Garcia, and Lakewood will have a chance to break the tie.
Came in a little hot and a little high for even as tall as Leah Holmes is.
Hudak will control it for the Rangers. It's the starting 5 plus Garcia out there. So Jermaine, Sam Hudak, Gianna McCullough, i.e. Molly Hendrickson, and Delaney Garcia. As DeJesus able to corral the turnover there and break out the other way. Ball was tipped around there, and it will go back to the Rangers. Number 5, Nevaeh Sawyer having a tough time there. The freshman, certainly good to see freshmen getting some varsity time here in the varsity lineup. A tough possession there, but definitely impressive feat. We have 2 freshmen on the varsity court right now. Love to see that youth movement and the success that they've been able to have this season. Nice pass there by Hudak as she dribbled around the baseline. McCullough's 3 no good, pulled in by Holmes. Good vision there by Sam Hudak to dribble and stay tight to that baseline.
Yeah, it's a good look for McCullough.
14-14. We are knotted up here with under 7 minutes remaining in the half. Holmes working from the nail there, and a double dribble on Holmes will give the ball back to the Rangers. Some nice action there from Parma. You like that? She can kind of see over. She has the bird's eye view of all the cutting and all the screening that's happening there. That's something that I'm sure we'll see Parma pulling out a few times.
Yeah, it's nice if you had a big man that you can bring out to the elbow, give the ball in the high post and have them turn and look. You have a lot of guards cutting around that to the basket. Nice, easy drop passes that way. Or, like she showed there, it was a double dribble.
Able to face up.
Right, be able to face up, sweep and go, those types of moves.
Gives the defense a lot to think about there, and certainly defense has been the name of this game so far, as both teams able to create a good amount of turnovers. Both teams have really commanded the rebounding aspect as well. Not too many offensive rebounds going around here as Lakewood and Parma kick off the first-round coverage of the GLC tournament. Jermaine screened and popped. McCullough drops it into Garcia, and Garcia was fouled by Holmes underneath. That's 4 fouls on Lakewood, and the first foul being assessed to Parma, so Parma getting in the foul category there.
It's a great drive by McCullough. She drove and attacked Leah Holmes to her, and then she had no choice but to foul after Lainey Garcia got that drop pass.
First free throw is up and pure for Garcia as Lakewood taking a 1-point lead. Garcia's second free throw up and good, and Lakewood now leads 16-14, calling off that man-to-man press a bit and playing Parma in the half court. DeJesus gives it off to Sawyer. Sawyer will get the offense initiated.
We see Hendrickson against DeJesus out here, and it's a good matchup here. See if she can deny her the ball a little bit.
Nice cut there by DeJesus to get open.
It was.
Nice take underneath by Alyssa Levy, and Parma knotting this one up as soon as they got away from that tie. Parma getting right back into a 16-16 game with the Rangers. Nice rebound by Garcia, and she is fouled again. And that wasn't leaping ability there. Garcia just worked her way into some nice positioning, boxed out, and was able to be there when the layup was missed.
I tell you, she comes from good stock. She's got a high basketball IQ as a freshman, and you're right. It's about body position, knowing where to be when the ball goes up, and then capitalizing on those opportunities. And we've seen it. She can play through contact a little bit as she gets a little bit older and stronger. That's an and one.
Physical finishes at the rim for Garcia as Hampton and Carroll check back in as Garcia splits the pair, and Parma will come back the other way.
And she's been an incredibly good free throw shooter as a freshman as well.
Something you definitely like to see from your younger players is taking care of business at the charity stripe. Holmes on the perimeter here. She'll put the ball on the deck, and that one was too tall for number 5, Sawyer, and Lakewood getting the ball back. And if you're Lakewood, you're really making things difficult on the defensive end for Parma, and Lakewood doing a nice job limiting Parma's offense here. Certainly a good time to take advantage and try to find some buckets to increase this margin if you are Lakewood. Nice spin move there by Carroll. Looked to step through, but walled up down low was Levy. That elbow jumper for Ava Carroll is good, and Lakewood extends their lead 19-16 here in the first round of the GLC tournament.
Ava Carroll can be a tough one. I tell you, if she can put that 15-footer in her game consistently, the way she can drive with her left and finish, she's going to be tough.
Certainly see some good post moves over this season from Carroll as that shot up by Basinger, no good. She was able to corral the rebound. Holmes again on the perimeter thought about it. DeJesus was cutting, but it was McCullough who got a hand in there. Carroll stops with that one and finds Hendrickson. Lakewood forcing another turnover by Parma. Carroll ducks in, steps through, and the block attempt by Holmes was a little too physical, and Carroll will go to the line shooting a pair. Lakewood starting to take control a little bit here in this second quarter. They've really come out and turned up the tempo and turned up the pressure defensively.
Absolutely. You know what I like, though, right here? I think we've got Leah Holmes with her second foul in that one. With a lot of times when you have a shot blocker like that, you want to attack them.
Very skilled shot blocker, absolutely.
You want to go right at them. And so, hey, see, this is putting her on the bench a little earlier than probably, Coach Caldwell would like.
Sophia Madison will check in for the first time tonight. And Sawyer will sit down for number 2, Abby Basinger. IE puts that one up, no good. And Garcia will get a tie-up, and that will stay with Lakewood, earning another possession for the Rangers.
It's a fantastic move by Garcia there. She was outside of that play, went in and dove on that ball.
As number 5, Jackie Hudak checks in for Garcia. Fantastic shift of play for the freshman. Carroll will inbound, baseline out of bounds. Lakewood taking our last matchup between these two teams, 61-51. DeJesus led all scorers with 21, and Jackie Hudak had 17 for the purple and gold. Lakewood's 61 points in that one. Certainly a fantastic offensive performance for them on the season. Usually a team hanging out there in the 40s and the 50s a little bit. Get a hot shooting night, it can go up there, but 61 points. That tells me Lakewood was doing a lot of good things defensively to be able to get out and score at that tempo.
That press was tough. 17 turnovers created a lot of easy baskets.
As Lakewood cuts off Parma at the baseline, Madison takes it underneath. That ball thrown into traffic, but it was Levy that came up with it, and she was rejected at the rim by a few Rangers. Hudak running down, the crossover, the bounce pass to Henriksen. Henriksen steps through. That ball was knocked away. Nice defense by Parma. It looked like Henriksen was going to get all the way to the rim. Basinger, the pass underneath is tipped, and it will stay with Parma.
I think that's Hampton's 3rd or 4th deflection of the game on that. She's playing the passing lane pretty well.
Sydney Hampton making life difficult, certainly for the Parma ball handlers. And when you have defenders like Hampton and Hudak, Sam and Jackie hounding the ball all night, you're going to be pretty wiped by the time halftime comes around.
Well, Sydney Hampton's she's got the toughest check on the court right now, too.
As DeJesus gets inside and right on cue will earn a trip to the charity stripe. Certainly a fantastic season for Maris DeJesus, averaging 14.3 points per game, the leading scorer for the Redmen, but also chipping in 5.8 rebounds and 2.9 assists.
Good all-around player.
The senior puts her first one up, and it rattles home. And Parma now trailing by 2. And we talked about it. It felt like Lakewood did some really good things defensively there, turning the ball over, getting some deflections, getting some block shots here in this second quarter. But if you look up and you're Parma, you're only trailing by 1. You got to be pretty happy about that, despite some of the miscues that they've had.
I think so. I think they've turned the ball without the press, without Lakewood in their face the whole time. They've turned the ball over at a clip you probably wouldn't like. But you're right, only down 1 at this point.
As that ball was knocked out of bounds, and certainly the energy picking up on the Parma bench as Levy will come out for the Redmen, and number 5, Sawyer, back into the game for the Redmen. That ball off Henriksen's hands, and Parma will break out the other way. It's Basinger bringing it up for Parma.
So Parma's going with a smaller lineup here.
Jump shot there by Madison, but she was fouled on the attempt and will go to the line to shoot a pair.
With both Holmes and Levy on the bench, it'll be interesting to see how much speed they pick up here with Parma and see what they get done with this.
Parma looking to tie this one up with Madison's free throws. The first one no good, and it will be a split pair if she can to try to get this one knotted back at 19 with under 3 minutes remaining here on the Lakewood Sports Channel. Garcia checking in for McCullough. Carroll sitting down after a fantastic performance out there here in this second quarter, and Pilgrim checking back in. Second free throw is up, and that one rattles out, and Lakewood will keep it at a 1-point advantage. Hampton pushing the pace for the Rangers. Garcia posting underneath. Lakewood looking for a good bucket here to try and reward themselves for their defensive effort here in this second quarter. That one stolen away by Sawyer, but taken away back by Jackie Hudak. They're going to say a foul, a travel on Hudak there.
I think she got the steal and drug the feet a little bit.
Maybe a surprise moment there for Hudak as she said, oh, look what I found, and was carrying that ball a little too long, and Parma will regain possession here. Quite a amount of subs here for this first tournament game here in the GLC tournament. It's interesting to me to think that both teams turning to their bench. Lakewood normally does. They play a good amount of people up and down the sideline there. For Parma, kind of forced into it with Holmes' foul trouble, but we've certainly seen a lot of contributors so far in this one. That one knocked out of bounds, and Parma will keep it.
Good defensive play there.
Madison will check out for number 20.
All right, we got Levy back in now.
Alyssa Levy. Certainly giving that back line some help for Parma.
Yeah, I was wondering if Lakewood would try to see if they could go into the freshman in the post. She was posting hard last series.
Right on cue, Levy's layup no good, and Lakewood will push it the other way. 2 minutes remaining here in the first half of the inaugural GLC Tournament.
Less than 2 minutes remaining in the half.
Bounce pass goes into Garcia. Garcia has Parma all over her, and a foul will be assessed. A little too physical was DeJesus, number 20, and Lakewood will inbound it here.
I like that, Grant. I think you got to try to get this ball into the freshman and see what she can do here with especially with Holmes out of the game.
Nice steal there by number 2, Abby Basinger, and Parma will push it the other way. Levy, a dead ball situation, in trouble there at the top by the timeline, but she finds DeJesus as the outlet. Sydney Hampton got her hands in there, and a nice steal by Hampton will take Lakewood back in the other direction. Garcia looking for an option. Hendrickson was open for a minute, but Garcia will put it on the floor. Hampton all the way in. Her scooping layup is good. And Lakewood extends their lead to 21-18 and a timeout by Coach Caldwell. He is not happy with the official here as Lakewood takes a 3-point lead. And we talked about it a little bit, but sort of reshaping the defensive identity has certainly put a pep into the step for the Rangers. You see Hampton getting the steal there. She gets the layup on the other end, and that's sort of the energy and sort of the MO that Lakewood has taken on here at the second half of the season.
And I like to see it. I've really been impressed with Sydney Hampton tonight. I mean, she has been all over the floor defensively. I mean, she's had the tough assignment in DeJesus most of the time when she's been on the floor. And she's still finding ways to be disruptive in the passing lanes. I like to see that.
Well, she's a player that brings it 100% every practice, every drill. We were talking to the coaches, before the season and during the lead up to this 2020-2021 season. And Hampton was a name that kept coming up, does the right things in practice, doesn't take a rep off. And, boy, when you get here to tournament play and you need all those reps and you need all that conditioning just to make it to this part of the season, Sydney Hampton's hitting another gear when maybe some other players are burning out, and it's paid off here in tournament play for Sydney.
Excellent straight-A student as well.
Love to see the student and the student athlete coming through. We're so proud of all of our student athletes here on the hardwood tonight. DeJesus pushing it, getting past a few Rangers. Thought about a three. Nice job by Garcia to get back in front of DeJesus.
Really good job by Garcia to step up on that one.
5-second call will be assessed. Nice hounding defense by the purple and gold, and Lakewood with a minute remaining here looking to extend their 3-point lead.
1 minute remaining in the half. 1 minute.
Hampton coming on the left side. She's cut off there by Basinger. Hudak got it all the way in to Garcia from the corner, no good, but Jackie Hudak got the rebound. Putback's no good, and that will be controlled by Levy. DeJesus stops. Thought about firing again, but Lakewood not letting her pull up in transition. A smart defensive adjustment by Lakewood, not wanting to see the sharpshooting DeJesus with an open look, and a foul will be assessed to Jackie Hudak with 27.8 seconds remaining here in the first half.
Yeah, hand in the cookie jar there. She just needed to kind of play that a little more straight up, and she kind of reached in trying to deflect the ball.
That is Lakewood's 7th foul of the half, which will get DeJesus to the line, shooting 1-1. First one up and in for Parma's all-time leading 3-point scorer. Something, one of the stats that gets overlooked, but Lakewood at the free throw line against Buckeye on Saturday, 87.5%. When you're shooting free throws like that and being aggressive and taking it to the rim, certainly things are going to look up for you as a team, and 87%.
I'd have to check the stat book. I don't know if any team under my tutelage shot from the line that well.
The file cabinet will be open at the Harper household tonight.
Got to check that out.
87%. As Gianna McCullough, a scooping layup on the left side there, and a steal by Sydney Hampton, no good, but the rebound is put back by Henriksen. What a defense, and nice possession there by Lakewood as time is running down. It started with McCullough's driving layup, a steal by Hampton, a putback by Henriksen, and Lakewood secures a jump ball, which will give it back to Parma. Half-court pass thrown ahead. Parma gets it all the way up. Basinger, the two-pointer at the buzzer is good, and Parma with some momentum, and this is a good one here on GLC TV. The Rangers 23, the Redmen 21. This has been an evenly matched first half between the 8 and 9 seeds here in the GLC tournament, and Mike, just like we talked about, any sign of either team breaking out the other way, it's often met with a well-earned bucket or some transition offense as well. It's been a really even showing with both teams hoping to gain an invitation to Elyria Catholic on Saturday.
It has. Parma came out pretty nicely and got that quick 7-2 lead. Lakewood came back and pulled it in. And Lakewood pulled ahead and tried to pull away a couple times, but Parma wouldn't let them have it.
Certainly a fantastic job by Lakewood defensively that half. And as the second half kicks off, it'll be a fun atmosphere here at the corner of Bunsen Franklin. And as the GLC tournament kicks off, we're so glad you are joining us out there in the 44107, or if you're in Parma, or if you're around the Northeast Ohio area. We thank you for tuning in to the Lakewood Sports Channel.
Also, don't forget, folks, that it is time to donate tonight at Angelo's Pizza.
Want to start our youth shout-outs to our 3rd and 4th grade collaborative team, coached by Sean Carroll, Trey Senny, and Tracy Trapp. We got Chloe Carroll, Ileana DeZazis, Phoebe, Addison, Samantha, Audrey, Rylan, Tegan, Emma, Selena, Violet, and Penelope. Great job this year on the 3rd and 4th grade circuit, and we're so glad that you are having a great year for the Lakewood girls 4th and 3rd grade collaborative team. We move on to our 5th and 6th grade collaborative team. We got Addison, Kira, Sophia, Kira, Alish, Leanne, Lane, Rena, and Josephine, and they are coached by Michael Radke and Matt McKenna. We're so glad you guys are having a great season at the 5th and 6th grade level, as we're having a great time here at Lakewood High School. We got Lakewood's favorite principal, Tony Chevalier, here, and he has been a fantastic supporter of the Lakewood program, and I got to talk to him about doing a hockey game here on the Lakewood Sports Channel. We're going to get together. Stay tuned for hockey fans everywhere as we move on to our 6th grade team, and we're so happy that our 6th grade team is having a great year. Olivia, Maeve, Hayden, Kennedy, Carrie, Charlie, Evie, Madeline, Annabelle, Indigo, Chelsea, and Greta, coached by Charles Doxley and Tracy Trapp. So glad you're having a good year down there at the 6th grade travel level. Thank you for your participation in the Lakewood girls basketball program. Moving on to our 7th grade middle school team, coached by Maureen Dahl, having a fantastic time, really doing a good job down there at the 7th grade level. We got Alexandra, Tessa, Twicka, Ruby, Addison, Aaliyah, Kelsey, Becca, Lexi, Paisley, Fiona, and Willow. Great job, girls, at the 7th grade level. And we rounded out with our veteran class there at the middle school, the 8th graders, coached by Quincy Tier. Cedra, Madison, Ava, Elizabeth, Helen, Hibba, Josie, Ashley, Zania, Layla, Amira, and Mia. We're so glad you guys are having a great time down there at the middle school level. Thank you for being a part of the Lakewood girls basketball program. We can't wait till you're up here at the high school in the purple and gold. And as halftime ticks off here, 6 minutes before the second half tips off, keep it here on the Lakewood Sports Channel as we will bring you all the action in the second half in the inaugural installment of the GLC Tournament.
Coming out of the break.
23-21 as the second half gets started here. And Coach Mike Harper, it's been a very tightly contested game. Lakewood doing their best on the defensive effort. There's been deflections, there's been blocks, there's been fantastic job applying pressure and forcing turnovers. But if you're Parma sitting here just down 2 points, you got to feel good about your chances and feel good about how tight this game's going to be down the stretch.
I think so. One of my points at the very beginning of the game was how would Parma adjust to Lakewood's pressure. And you saw Coach Work come out and throw that pressure, full court pressure at them early. And I really thought that Parma did a good job adjusting in that. But then, what pressure they didn't get in the full court, I thought Lakewood did a fantastic job on the defensive end with deflections, playing passing lanes, being aggressive. Got out, and it seemed like, hey, get a 3-point lead, but just could not pull away.
Well, we talked about it before the broadcast. Lakewood in the first installment of this game, winning 61-51. It wasn't a 10-point game. It wasn't a double-digit game. Yeah. As well as Lakewood played, Parma kept it close. And if you're talking about our February frenzy, you're talking about the GLC tournament. Keeping these games close is going to really pay off for you because anything can happen in tournament play. Games can turn on the dime. It might just take one impact play to come away with a win in this one. And as we've seen from Holmes and DeJesus, they have game changers over there in the red and white, and we certainly have a pair in the purple and gold tonight. It's been Sydney Hampton being a menace defensively, and Gianna McCullough picking up where she left off against Buckeye.
Yeah, absolutely. I think what's going to be interesting this half, though, is who can kind of figure out how to take care of the ball here. I think, we've had our, moments of turning the ball over, too, here at Lakewood. So I think whoever wins that battle of really taking care of the ball is going to pull away in this one.
Parma and Lakewood running out their starting fives here for the kickoff of the third quarter. Dump inside to McCullough. She was hounded by Holmes and turned that one over. Nice job by Holmes walling up there on a nice cut from McCullough, but not a lot of room to operate with number 32, Leah Holmes, down there.
Yeah, it got stuck on the baseline a bit on that one.
Nice play there to get Basinger an open look, but poked away by Hudak, and it will stay with Parma. Hudak kind of got beat around that screen. It looked like she was going to be trailing the play, but kept her hands active there. Nice job to get in there as Holmes receives the inbound. DeJesus cutting down the middle of the lane. That shot no good. Tipped around, and it will be Parma ball. Baseline out of bounds.
I see Hendrickson went down to double down on Leah Holmes real quick, but, left DeJesus wide open on that one.
Sure.
Can't do that.
We've seen DeJesus knock down some shots tonight. Certainly she's had 20-point scoring nights during this season as Hendrickson fouls DeJesus underneath. And if your attention goes to Holmes, that's why Parma has been so tough here at the beginning of this game and in the first half, is because they've gotten contributions from Basinger, some nice outside shots. Levy's been good putting the ball in the hoop, and obviously DeJesus has gotten to the line a few times, knocked down a three-pointer. So Parma really trying to get everybody involved here and doing a nice job of it.
Yeah, but make no mistake about it. It all kind of goes through DeJesus. I mean, she's the one that's going to – you got to make sure you're keeping an eye on her at every turn.
Number 23, Amaris DeJesus. Second free throw is up and good, and we are all back to square here. 23-23, Rangers and Parma tied here with 7 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Hampton received the screen. Reverses it to McCullough. McCullough looking inside to Germain. Lakewood trying to get open. Parma doing a nice job staying in front of the Rangers. A pull-up from Hendrickson is off the front iron, and Holmes pulls it down. Not a lot of space for Hendrickson to pull that one there, but if you're Lakewood, you definitely want to see her get going from the perimeter, so you like the aggressiveness there from IE.
You do. You want to see her making sure that she's looking to get her shot off. I thought she did a really good job on the defensive end right there with the face guard. I think that's been something that IE did in the first half, a little bit of face guard on DeJesus to make sure she can't get the ball, and I like that play.
Nice adjustments coming out of halftime for the purple and gold, as well as Parma doing a nice job hounding the Rangers defensively. Germain posted up against Holmes. Hendrickson will get it to Hudak off the screen. That one went off to McCullough, who will corral it before it goes out. McCullough, a nice takedown low. And the layup is good. Gianna McCullough, the senior, getting the Lakewood Rangers on the board here in the second half, and she went right at Holmes there.
We got to
really
see more of that. That was fantastic. We got to see more of that. I think it starts with Gianna there. I think if she can, she's a great slasher. We see her getting the ball to the hole. I think that'll really open some things up for the Rangers.
Turnover there. Nice steal by Germain, and Lakewood comes back the other way. Lily Germain from deep. That one rims out the back iron. And a foul will be assessed to Sam Hudak. And if you're the Rangers, that's a tough one to sustain there. Coach Work has some words of encouragement for Sam Hudak, who's such a tenacious defender, such an energy giver. He should not, really does a nice job of getting her team energized. Just a little too physical there as Lakewood leads by 2.
And those are the things we would tell her last year. We appreciate, we know you're playing so hard, but you got to be smart about those fouls.
That hard-nosed playing pays off there as Hudak gets the steal. Hampton underneath, rejected by Leah Holmes, and Lakewood certainly trying to get Holmes to pick up her 3rd foul, but Holmes has other ideas as she sends that one into the makeshift student section, the JV and freshman players there. Lily Winter's birthday sitting there in the freshman student section there. Happy birthday to Lily.
Happy birthday, Lily.
Thrilling freshman game today going into overtime.
Right?
Yeah, fantastic. JV team, another big win for the purple and gold. Really good job by both squads this year. It's come full circle. We shouted out the 3rd and 4th grade teams, and we've made it all the way through the rest of the program as we call this varsity GLC tournament matchup between Lakewood and Parma, as Hudak will earn a trip to the line, looking to increase Lakewood's 2-point lead. That free throw no good, as Hudak will try to split the pair here. 5 minutes, 26 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. That free throw no good as well, and it will stay a 25-23 advantage. Sawyer bringing it up the right side. Lost her dribble, picked it up, and found DeJesus. DeJesus driving on Henriksen, walled off at the baseline. Cross-court pass to Basinger. Nice shot fake there. That shot no good. And Lakewood will corral it. Nice move there by Basinger, just couldn't get it to go.
Good box out by McAuliffe there, too.
Lakewood looking for another opportunity at the rim. It's McAuliffe. Nice bounce pass underneath to Lily Germain. And Gianna McAuliffe really doing a nice job penetrating this Parma defense. That time, no layup for McAuliffe, but a nice assist to their senior counterpart, Lily Germain. DeJesus got away from Henriksen, took it down the lane, and it's Amaris DeJesus with the answer on the other end. And these two teams going back and forth as the first round ticks away here on GLC TV. Germain pops open underneath. Nice cut there by Hudak as she was hounded by the Parma defenders. And almost a line change here for the Rangers as Garcia, Carroll, Jackie Hudak, and Ava Carroll will get out, and Molly Pilgrim will get out there for the Rangers. Sydney Hampton staying out there. A fantastic game from Hampton so far.
Yeah, Coach Work is going 9 deep here tonight. I think I'd like to see that.
Hampton in the corner looking for the answer on the offense for Lakewood. 27-25, they lead Parma. 4 minutes remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Nice defense by Parma here as they're trying to force Lakewood without a basket. Dump inside to Carroll underneath. That one sent away. Nice job by Parma. The interior defense has been fantastic for the Redmen. Three-pointer by DeJesus, no good, and Lakewood will regain it. Molly Pilgrim comes down with it. Jackie Hudak all the way, got behind everyone. Found Garcia, touch pass out to Pilgrim, the three-pointer off the front rim and out of bounds.
That's a tough one. That was a good pass. Good pass by Garcia.
Very unselfish play for the skip ahead, and then one more to get it to the open shooter Pilgrim. And usually when Molly Pilgrim's that wide open, you're feeling pretty good. Just missed that one.
Yeah. She's been working on her shot the last couple years. Her range has gotten better, for sure.
Certainly no hesitation there. You can tell her confidence is really looking good from the perimeter. As Holmes was able to corral that one amongst a couple of Rangers. Nice cut there from Basinger, but that pass a little too wide, and Lakewood will regain possession, 27-25. We are here on the Lakewood Sports Channel.
You see, Grant, we're looking at both sides. A lot of turnovers here. I said whatever team can settle down and, calm these turnovers down is really going to probably find more success in this game here.
And certainly in tournament play, the margins become very, very small for what you can take as a team and bounce back from. And certainly the margin in this game is just 2 points. It will certainly come down to who's taking care of the basketball. As a timeout by Coach Work here as we Want to remind you that the hockey team is having that fantastic fundraiser at Angelo's. Mention the LHS hockey team from now until 10 p.m. in the dining room, or for delivery and takeout until 11 p.m. Please mention when ordering for dine-in, takeout, and delivery. 20% of your bill will go towards the LHS hockey team and supporting Lakewood Athletics and pizza. I can't think of anything else that would make me happier than those two things, as we are rolling along here in the first round of the GLC tournament. And, your experience in tournament play before, is it a different message for the team, or are you trying to just stay consistent with, the principles? Or, it has to creep into the player's mind that there's some sort of finality to it all with tournament play. And your job as a coach is to make sure, that they're preparing in similar ways to other games.
I suppose so, but there's no denying that the intensity is going to ratchet up. So I never wanted to shy away from that.
Sure.
We always called it the second season.
You want to harness it, not so much let it, get too big.
Right. It's the second season, though, So,
absolutely.
But the nice part about it is it's a clean slate. So if you weren't having such a good year, which the last couple of years, they weren't probably amongst our best years, but we got the girls pumped up because we were like,
absolutely.
hey, clean slate, time to start all over. Let's go get it, right?
The GLC records are 0-0 for everyone.
Right.
As the first round kicking off here on the Lakewood Sports Channel and GLC TV. It's fantastic tournament time here in February, and a push there on the body by, we'll see who they assess the foul to.
Pilgrim.
It's going to be Molly Pilgrim on that one, as Garcia came over and sent that one away, but Garcia, a little too physical.
Garcia came over and gave great help, and Pilgrim just got beat by half a step and ended up bumping her slightly.
First free throw up and out for Parma, 27-25 here in the third quarter, as number 4, Julia Basinger, will check back in for Sawyer. In the first GLC tournament game, we had the Normandy Invaders defeating Valley Forge 51-37. Normandy could definitely be a team that's making some noise in this tournament. We saw them here at Lakewood High School, and they are an impressive squad. Pressure defense, fantastic guard play. They are going to be a team to watch in this tournament.
Yeah, I think, Grant, they press you when you get off the bus.
Come off the bus ready to get in formation there, as a nice take will extend Lakewood's lead to 29-26. Nice back cut there by Basinger. The floater, no good. But DeJesus was there, and Carroll was the one that came up with it. Jackie Hudak breaks out the other way. Holmes chasing her down. Nice job by Leah Holmes to get all the way back. Good effort, but a hand on the back of Jackie Hudak will give Holmes her third, and Jackie Hudak a chance at 2 free throws.
I like that by Jackie Hudak. She knew the big was there. Holmes was there, and she kind of got her body in position to be able to take that foul.
Really good job by Hudak breaking out the other way as her free throw rims out. And Holmes will check out with 3 fouls. It'll be number 1, Sophia Madison, coming in for her. Lakewood leading by 3 here with just 2 minutes remaining in the third quarter. It's been a slow offensive quarter for both Lakewood and Parma, as Jackie pushes Lakewood's point total to 30. And you got to believe that favors Parma a little bit, this slow pace, because Lakewood has certainly done a good job limiting their offensive opportunities. But if you're Parma and it's a 4-point lead, certainly you got to feel okay about where you are heading into the fourth quarter, as that layup no good. Jackie Hudak was there for the putback and fouled once again. She will return for another stay at the free throw line.
There's that energy from number 5, man. She's all over the floor.
I got to imagine in the Hudak household, it's like all over the place. Chaos. I mean, the Hudak sisters, fantastic energy here on the court. Such fantastic representatives of Lakewood High School.
Older sister Nicole graduated with my daughter Morgan last year, and she was a heck of a volleyball player.
Absolutely.
I don't know if she was intense as these two, though. She might have been. I just don't know.
The younger sibling traits coming out. And Jackie and Sam, fantastic displays on the basketball court as Carroll takes that one away. And Jackie will reset it for Lakewood. Ducks inside to Garcia. Nice strong hands by Garcia. and Lakewood will take possession. Pilgrim came up with it.
You know, we talk about it all the time. So hard to feed the post from the top of the key.
Sure.
You just don't have the angle.
And it looks so inviting, and then in a split second, oh, my God, they wide open, nobody around, and then three players converge there, and that was the fate that Lakewood fell into there as a turnover will give the ball back to Parma. 31-56, Lakewood leads. Nice job by DeJesus to gain position there and get the ball in safely. But it's Hampton hounding Levy once again. And a timeout by Coach Caldwell will take Parma and Lakewood to their respective benches with 1 minute and 11 seconds remaining.
Well, Coach Work has pulled out the full court pressure again, and now you can see as the time has gone on, it's starting to wear down Parma a little bit. It's a good
absolutely.
move.
And at this point of the season and in tournament play, certainly if you can throw that look at teams and it energizes one squad and it drains the other squad, certainly as we head into the fourth quarter, something that Lakewood's going to want to continue to do. And what adjustments did you see from Parma in that first quarter? Because the press was getting to them a little bit in that first quarter, but they didn't let it consume them, and they made some good adjustments. What do you think Coach Caldwell's adjusting to right now?
What's interesting is I thought in that first half they did a good job of getting the ball in the middle to DeJesus and let her take it up. For some reason there, they just got it into her, but she didn't clear out and let everyone, take it herself. She kicked it right back to about the decision making in that one, but yeah, you got to put it in her hands.
Passing lane there, but just a little. Breaks down the middle. Basinger on the dribble drive. Parma working it around now, under 1 minute remaining here in the third quarter. Lakewood 31, Parma 26.
Good defense here, good defense. Way to Jackie Hudak cut that.
Nice deflection by Garcia, and the steal will end up in Hudak's hands. Good high physical on the press. Will be assessed to number 4.
She's working so hard. Yeah, Sawyer bobbled that ball a little bit, and it was shark, and she just got
ball right now and in this one. Lakewood tipping average.
And, Lakewood's just overplaying it.
Here Parma goes. DeJesus working against Hudak in the corner, and Hudak with a blocking foul as 20.9 seconds. Excuse me.
Yeah, too much body there. Had her nicely on the sideline corner there, and just hit her with the body too hard.
As DeJesus will go to the line shooting a free throw. First one is up and in for DeJesus. Second. Absolutely.
She makes them. It's
sort of gets that elbow slotted outwards a little bit, but brings it back to a nice
below. It'll be interesting to see who on the floor now takes over with the scoring load.
As Lakewood comes down, 15 seconds remaining, dumps it into Carroll. Her layup no good. And going to have to be a quick tip here from the Rangers. Carroll gets it up, and that one is in. Ava Carroll with 0.6 seconds was able to get that layup up and in.
There. Great draw by the Rangers, and great execution.
Certainly Carroll couldn't believe how wide open she was with just 0.6 seconds remaining. Good job by Ava to get it off with Rangers. And next week on Tuesday, we will have the boys version of the GLC tournament. Can't wait to call that one with Patrick Hayes and Lakewood drawing Elyria Catholic. Lakewood a big win against Rocky River the other night. Finally starting to get healthy a little bit on the boys' side.
Yep.
Pat Soares, a great game, and we are looking forward to that one. It should be an interesting tournament for the Rangers. They've had some people
card. I really do.
Certainly has been a very wide open conference race, and then boys teams there in the GLC as that shot no good for Parma, and Lakewood will take it back the other way. Lakewood working it around with a 7-point advantage. Dumps inside on Leah Holmes. She's got to be careful. That's her 4th.
Great aggressive play by Ava Carroll there. got it at the top of the key, swung and took it at the big.
It's tough business down there in the paint when Leah Holmes is down there. But credit to the Rangers really not shying away from a challenge, and it's paid off with Holmes being on the bench most of the second half.
Yeah, absolutely. Lakewood get a foothold in. They've got a nice 9-point. That's
good, but it is tracked down by Sam Hudak, who was on the steal on the other round. Henriksen puts it up, no good, and DeJesus will finally corral it for. Timeout by Coach Caldwell will get the Parma team into the huddle, and we'll get Lakewood into the huddle as we appreciate you hanging with us through some technical defaults here, but we're certainly working through those and hopefully bringing you an exciting and clear end to this one between Parma and Lakewood.
Sometimes grant technology, huh?
Yeah, it's how it goes, and certainly we're happy to do what we can to bring Lakewood basketball to the masses here as Parma and Lakewood in the first round of the GLC tournament. Lakewood certainly turning up the pressure here in the fourth quarter. They have done a nice job coming out, and any idea that Parma had about coming back in this one a little bit, Lakewood has done a nice job of asserting themselves and really making Parma earn it.
Fantastic. You know, that last little series there on the steal, I mean, they could be up by 11 right now.
Sure.
But I think Parma's starting to get worn down a little bit. I know, you know, they've done a little bit of face guarding. They've thrown a couple people at DeJesus a little bit.
Sure.
And, you know, the scoring load really is on her. So it's going to be interesting to see if we can kind of keep up that pressure and keep the ball out of her hands at times. If we can do that and keep these playing these passing lanes the way we are, those layups are going to fall.
Get one of those layups, and looking, Lakewood leads. Take underneath and fouled. Sawyer will go to the line to shoot two. Split two Lakewood defenders there and got Lakewood out of position.
Yeah, good move by the freshman. Good move by the freshman. I know that they're you know, you just saw it there. Henriksen is face guarding DeJesus, and they can't get her the ball. You know, someone else has got to step up and attack, and that was a good attack by Sawyer there.
Certainly a nice job by Sawyer to get Parma going here in the fourth quarter as her first shot is up and no good. Next free throw is up and no good as Lakewood. Fortunate that Sawyer couldn't connect on either.
Good rebound by Jermaine there.
Lily Jermaine, a fantastic job rebounding tonight against the formidable Parma back line. Hudak in the corner. Takes it all the way down the baseline. Found Carroll on the backside. McCullough will launch. That one clanks off the front of the rim. And Carroll got on the ground and got a jump ball, which will give the Rangers the ball. Baseline out of bounds.
Great play by the sophomore. Giving her body up. I like that.
Every time it seems that Lakewood's going to come away empty, it's a purple and gold player mixing it up down there with someone in red and white. As Jermaine's turnaround hook shot no good, and Parma has a chance to cut into this 9-point advantage. All the way down comes Parma. That one rejected by Jermaine. And Lakewood certainly in the driver's seat here with 6 minutes remaining, doing everything defensively to limit what Parma is getting. Nice back cut by Henriksen, and the layup by Molly Henriksen is good. Our Slife matchup of the game, Molly Henriksen, certainly with a nice setup and back cut there. It's got to be one of the most satisfying parts of basketball, a perfectly set up back cut. Worked to perfection there for IE.
One of the first things we try to teach the player on offense, you know, if they play across that line, back door.
And certainly if you're i.e. Molly Henriksen, it doesn't take much for your defender to worry about when you start inching closer to the perimeter. Lakewood's most consistent three-point shooter this year. It's very concerning for anybody that is trying to check Molly Henriksen when she starts to approach that perimeter. And a nice job setting up the defense there for the back cut as DeJesus free throw is up and good.
Well, that's how you become that threat, right? You know, you start knocking down that outside shot.
Sure.
Now they've got to come out and try to get you, and if you've got, you know, a little bit of handle, and some savvy, now you can. You don't even have to be fast. You just have to be, you know, aware. Absolutely. And being able to read the defense. You do some damage.
DeJesus brings this deficit back under double digits as she knocks down both free throws. It's high time for Parma to get themselves going in this one, as that is tipped out of bounds and will stay with Lakewood. 39-30 the Rangers lead. 5 minutes, 20 seconds remaining.
I don't know if DeJesus has missed a free throw tonight, has she? She's been tough from the line.
Certainly you see these shooting chops on DeJesus at the free throw line behind the perimeter, really doing a nice job filling it up for Parma.
Good rebound.
Sawyer all the way ahead to Basinger.
It's a good rebound by Garcia, but Holmes was right there on that block. Again.
Nice denial by Jermaine, and tips it into the waiting hands of Molly Hendrickson. Ahead to McCullough. Jermaine from the free throw line. That one is good, and Lily Jermaine will get a forceful high five from Gianna McCullough as she goes to the line for a three-point play.
That was very timely. Needed that one right there. That was good.
That is, I think if you were to ask Lily Jermaine where her favorite spot on the court to shoot from, it's definitely from those elbows and the free throw line. She's definitely has done a fantastic job this year knocking in those mid-range jumpers as the free throw no good, and DeJesus takes it all the way the other way. Scooping layup no good. Holmes of the layup no good, and it's pulled down by the freshman Delaney Garcia. Lakewood enjoying an 11-point advantage now. 4 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Jermaine all alone. Jab steps and goes to the baseline. Cut off there by Basinger. Gets it down to Hudak, and Hudak's winding shot from the baseline goes in. And Lakewood in command now, leading by 13.
Just took their time there. That was the great thing to see. They didn't rush anything on offense there. They slowed it down, took their time, and they great cut. Great shot by Sam Hudak.
Lakewood certainly feeling comfortable on the offensive end, and it's not necessarily because every shot they're putting up is finding its way in, but it's the second efforts and knowing, hey, even if I miss this, we've done such a good job on the offensive glass tonight, I might get it back.
Right.
So, you know, the hesitation has been removed if you are Lakewood, and that's because of the effort that they've been putting in on that end, as number 2, Abby Basinger will check in, and Alyssa Lavey will sit down. First free throw up and good by DeJesus as she lines up a second. Second free throw is up. No good as that one rims out. 43-31, Lakewood leading Parma. Nice cut by McCullough there, cut off. Jermaine's layup no good. She got her own rebound and she was fouled. Nice job by Lily Jermaine. She has been fantastic in the paint defensively and offensively for Lakewood.
That was a great cut. And, missed her shot, followed it up, stayed after it. It's exactly what you wanted to do.
Jermaine's free throw up and no good. As she has a conference with her shooting hand there saying, come on, I did everything right there. Second free throw up and no good. And Parma certainly thankful that neither free throw was able to go down as they trail here by 12. 3 minutes, 40 seconds remaining. Pick set there. Nice roll to the hoop by Holmes and comes up short on that layup.
It's a really nice pass, too.
Definitely we'll see more action like that from Parma as time ticks on. Hudak gets down all the way.
Lakewood smart, running a little clock here.
Nice turnaround jumper there by Garcia, no good. And her and Holmes will get tied up. And that ball will be going back to Parma. This is where you're seeing some signs of you're playing it out. Stay aggressive, but when it's win or go home, or win or go to the consolation bracket, ball security and using the clock to your advantage.
Absolutely. I think you've seen Lakewood turn down on the, cut down on the turnovers.
Sure. Which will lengthen any game out when you can limit the back and forth and the transition.
For sure.
McCullough tried to get in the passing lane there. Basinger from 3. That one off the back iron. And Garcia finds an outlet in Jermaine, who finds an outlet. Senior. 2 minutes. And a foul will be assessed to Sawyer. They'll say she held Hudak, who will go. 7th foul on Parma. Free throw no good off the front iron. And what a fantastic night it's been here on GLC TV on the Lakewood Sports Channel, presented by First Federal of Lakewood, presented by all of you who have supported the Lakewood Sports Channel. We just got some video feed from Chris Kaminsky, the FPCSBN, showing us a little bit of what basketball for the conference, putting on this tournament. It's taken a village to pull it off, but certainly we're happy to be here in the first round with Lakewood and Parma facing off here. Lakewood trying to advance in face Elyria. Leading by 12, under 2 minutes remaining now, and a foul will be assessed.
So obviously, with under 2 minutes here, they're going to try to pull the ball out, be smart with it. You got to have your guards have better exchanges than that, though, and make sure that your spacing is good when you're stalling that out there. So,
and we've seen Lakewood, progressively get better with the stall. I wouldn't say it's been their forte here at the beginning of the season, but that's one of those things where, hey, after we spend the summer working on, our offense or working on, our defensive principles, then in the early months of the winter, in November, December, hey, let's work on our stall.
No doubt.
And certainly has not been the same time schedule that teams have been used to in years past.
It is one of the very last things you put in, for sure.
It's like practicing the knee at football practice, that's for sure.
Exactly.
We have our own version of the NFL Red Zone here with GLC Full Court. 4 games, 1 screen, nothing better on a Wednesday night here in Northeast Ohio. Hudak pulled it out and threw it right in the passing lane, and Parma will regain possession. Sawyer pulls it out, gives it to DeJesus. DeJesus looking underneath for Holmes. Holmes against Aya McCullough, checking in for the first time tonight.
Yeah, younger sister Gianna McCullough, getting a little varsity run here at the end.
Fantastic to see. We have the Basinger sisters on Parma. We have the McCullough and Hudak sisters on the Rangers side. It's been a very cool sibling affair. It's great to see those siblings spending these seasons together, as Holmes' shot there is no good, but a foul will be assessed to Aya McCullough, and a pair of free throws will go up for Holmes.
Grant, their eldest sister graduated last year, and it was kind of neat. One of the last games of the season here, we got to have all 3 of the McCullough sisters in the game at the same time, which was pretty cool.
3 out of 5 related. Fantastic to see. Those are memories that you make in interscholastic sports and high school sports, and certainly fond memories of some sibling pairings we've had in the past in the program. And as a coach, there's nothing better than seeing those siblings share that moment together, as Hudak will check out and Hampton will check in. 43-32, the Rangers leading Parma. Holmes' second free throw is up, and that one no good, but a nice rebound underneath, and Levy will go to the free throw line to shoot another pair. And if you're the Lakewood Rangers, that's 4 chances at points you are giving Parma with the clock stop.
Yeah, Jermaine didn't check out and box out the way she should have. She knows it. She's looking over at her coach now. Like, I know. Coach, I missed that one.
She's a mental note on that one.
Yeah, but this is the thing, if you want to be a good team, you got to know how to finish these games well, right?
Certainly, if you are looking to take down the number 1 seed, Elyria Catholic, every detail will have to be ironed out and taken care of and accounted for. A little bit of pressure shown in the half court by Parma. Lakewood doing a nice job reversing the ball and finding McCullough, who's all alone. McCullough working around, finding Hendrickson at the top. Hendrickson starting to be hounded by Parma. 1 minute remaining here in the first round. Lakewood trying to hold on to a 10-point advantage. Turnover there by Hendrickson. Sawyer is fouled by Hendrickson in the open court. And with 59.4 seconds remaining, it will be Sawyer going to the line, shooting in the double bonus.
In those situations, too, when they're bringing that pressure out so high, can't be afraid to put the ball on the floor and attack the rim,
Once you split that pair, it's wide open.
Well, you don't even have to wait for the pair to come. I mean, it's just you've got to, if you see them all playing out that high and that you want to make sure that you're keeping them honest by saying, hey, I'll drive this to the basket.
And certainly if you're Lakewood, you have learned on the fly, what can happen when the pressure comes, because you're talking about a conference that has Elyria Catholic, Bay, Normandy, certainly teams that like to bring the press, like to bring pressure. And Lakewood has done a good job learning from that experience, albeit sometimes not the most pleasant experience playing those teams, but certainly have done a nice job taking care of the basketball in the second half here. Ball gets reversed to the middle to McCullough, who finds her sister Gianna. Gianna, the nice split. She might have the GLC TV tuned in there. I don't see any AirPods in, but possibly being able to hear Coach Harper there, and she does a nice job splitting the Redmen. Nice reversal there. Lakewood, 30 seconds remaining and leading by 10 as a timeout by Coach Julie Work will see Lakewood taking control and taking this one with just 26 seconds remaining. Lakewood will be securing their spot to play Elyria Catholic, previewing that matchup a little bit here with just 0.6 seconds remaining. And it'll be a tough matchup for Lakewood, but certainly one they didn't shy away from at the Coliseum earlier this season.
No, they've got such a good program over there at Elyria Catholic. Coach Rothgary and Coach Schill do a fantastic job. Sorry, there go the seniors getting a little ovation there. That's good stuff. Probably their last home game, right?
Last home game for Lily and Gianna, as these seniors did such a fantastic job stewarding this team. And this is going to be 3 wins in a row for Lakewood, one coming on senior day, one coming against these Parma girls team here. And certainly if you're Lakewood, you got to feel good about how you are playing basketball right now.
Well, sure. You close out the season 3 wins in a row, right? I mean, that's what it's all about.
Take it one game at a time, and that's the mentality in tournament play most of the time too.
For sure.
Reversal here by Lakewood. 20 seconds will tick off as Parma will foul, and Henriksen will go to the line looking to extend the Lakewood lead. Henriksen's first free throw is up, and bingo, that one is in. Lakewood now leading 44-33.
That's also the mark of a good team there. You go to the line at the end of the game and knock down your free throws.
Henriksen again knocking down another one. Lakewood continuing their hot shooting from the free throw line. 45-33. 15 seconds will tick away, and in their first ever GLC tournament game as Holmes puts this in, Lakewood will take this one over Parma 45-35, and it's been a fantastic job by Lakewood in the second half, weathering the storm, and they will advance to face Elyria Catholic on Saturday at Elyria Catholic. And Mike, just a really nice job by the Rangers. Their first taste of tournament play here in the GLC tournament, and you had to really like what you've seen. They built on some of the success they've had in the previous 2 wins, and certainly that will bode well for the team as they head to Elyria Catholic to face the number 1 seed in the tournament.
Yeah, they did not the first half of that third quarter was a little slow. It was sluggish for both teams, but I really felt like by the time they got to the middle of that third quarter and on, they just really kind of took over and asserted the dominance. Now, they got a different animal coming up on Saturday, right? Elyria Catholic, like I was saying before, well coached by Coach Rothgary and Coach Schill, disciplined, and they can shoot. So it's going to be a little bit different battle, but I think with the way they're playing now, I think they want that challenge. They want to see what that'll be all about and where they are. So it's good.
Certainly Lakewood feeling confident about how they are playing right now, and when it's tournament time, anything can happen. So Lakewood will head out as the number 8 seed to number 1 seed Elyria Catholic on Saturday, trying to upset the Panthers, trying to be the Cinderella of the inaugural GLC tournament. And we're so glad you joined us at home. Thanks to everybody that that tuned in on GLC TV. Big shout out to my guys Tyler and Connor over there at Fairview for getting the GLC TV all set up. Really
major props.
Really got two big admirers here, and we're really glad to be a part of it. And we're really hoping that you will tune in next time as the GLC tournament rolls on. It's February Frenzy, and Lakewood taking the first installment, 45-35 over Parma. Have a good night.